All right, welcome in, folks. Appreciate you guys jumping on board with me here for Mount Polumbus Speaks live watch party. Broncos just started their game against the Chargers, and defense was off to a pretty good start here. Got a nice stop on first down, but then unfortunately get that pass interference when Justin Herbert had all frickin' day. This is a pivotal game for the Broncos, man. Um, Mainly because of the start that the Chargers have had. The Chargers are 2-0, and their two games have been against the AFC West opponents. So, Chargers now with 3 straight AFC West games to start out the season, which is really unusual. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you the last time that I saw a team have 3 straight games in division matchup. It's wild. If I was the Chargers when the season began, I probably would have been ticked off about it because that's a rough way to start out the season. But in hindsight, starting out the season 2-0 and with an opportunity to go 3-0, they've got a great opportunity to get out to an enormous lead in the AFC West. So really, really important game for the Broncos to find a way to win here because if they let the Chargers get out to that 3-0 lead, man, I honestly don't know if the Chargers could mess it up. So good to be on with you guys here. Anyways, let me get my chat pulled up. I see some of you guys are putting comments in. I just got to pull up my chat. Yeah, so linebackers is an issue. Drake Greenlaw just got put on the IR. I don't know why they didn't put him on the IR from the beginning, but they did put him on the IR now. And so we're out without our top free agent addition in the offseason. Drake Greenlaw hasn't played it down for the Broncos, and now he won't play again for another 4 games at a bare minimum. So the earliest you could see Drake Greenlaw would be week 7. And with Drake Greenlaw out, our inside linebackers have been a bit an issue. Wow, Pat Surtain with the missed tackle here. Goodness, man. Pat had a bad game last week for Pat Surtain, and that missed tackle really hurt the Broncos. Chargers now got 1st and 10 inside the go zone. I don't know why Pat – it almost looked like Pat thought somebody else was going to make that tackle. Weird. Really weird. All right, Pat rebounds with a nice little tackle there on Williams. Get him 2nd and 9. I don't expect Pat Surtain to have very many bad games. Unfortunately, last week was a bad game. Then into that Philly game was crazy. I didn't watch a lot of the games this morning. I was busy, but I did get to catch the end of that game. So the Chargers are historically under Jim Harbaugh. The way that he likes to call offense is real heavy run game. And last year they were real heavy in the run game. This year things are radically different. He's setting Justin Herbert loose, and Justin's throwing the ball 35, 40 times per game. I mean, he's got a Ferrari at the quarterback position, and he's driving that car. Got to get that. Tips and overthrows. Got to get that. Those are your chances at interceptions. All right, cool. Obviously, you prefer to give up 0 points, but you hold them to 3 points here, assuming that their kicker is going to make the chip shot here. You're going to go down 3-0. Could be worse. Last week, the one thing that the Broncos defense did well, and there wasn't a lot of it, quite frankly, but the one thing that they did do well was red zone defense. The Colts had 6 trips to the red zone, and The Broncos were able to hold them to a field goal on 4 of those 6 possessions. So bend but don't break. That's also wow. The Jets won. I actually didn't even see that. That's interesting. As we get to commercial break here, good opportunity for me to thank the title sponsor of Mount Polumbus Speaks, Safeway. Could not do this podcast without them. So grateful to Safeway. Just an incredible grocery store. Guys, there is a difference in where you shop. And Safeway does a great job of sourcing locally. So when you shop at Safeway, know that you're supporting local small businesses. They cut their fruit fresh in store every single day. The meat that you buy at Safeway is incredible. And they've got an amazing app. So if you don't have the app on your phone, make sure you download the Safeway app today. Skip the other delivery service apps. Order directly on the Safeway app. You're going to save time. You're going to save money. They save your orders. They make it super easy. And there's no reason to order on the other apps because you're going to save more money when you order directly from the Safeway app. So Safeway, fresh foods, local flavors. Super grateful to Safeway for being a part of Mount Polumbus Speaks, and grateful to you guys that watch Mount Polumbus Speaks. If you've not subscribed to my podcast on YouTube, take 3 seconds out of your day right now. Go on over to YouTube and hit subscribe. The link's in my bio on X if that's where you're watching. I know the majority of you usually do watch on X. I do game film breakdowns with all 22. If you want to find my all 22 breakdown of the Colts game, go to my YouTube channel. You can find it there. Usually we'll have the all 22s put out by Tuesday. I try to do it even Monday if I can. So I'll have the coaches film broke down of this game within 24, 48 hours, and all that stuff lives on my YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe. PS2 definitely seems to be not at top speed. How hard is it to play through injury in the NFL? I know if I had some of your injuries at my work, I'm not doing anything. Well, it's part of the game, right? And obviously every injury is not the same. Pat banged up that ankle last week, but they told us that he was okay. I agree. He doesn't look like himself. And if he doesn't look like himself, I'm assuming it probably is injury related. We've all got injuries, though, and it's just part of the game. Shoot, I've had a disc replacement on my neck. I've had 2 surgeries on this shoulder. I need a third. I've had 1 surgery on this shoulder. I've had 3 back surgeries. I need a back fusion. I played hurt in just about every single game I ever played in. Depending on the position you play, though, it really matters what the injury is. You guys like the new kickoff rules this year? It's more punitive if you put it in the end zone for a touchback. You get the ball at the 35-yard line, and that's led to the most kickoff returns in the history of the NFL. Damn, and the Browns beat the Packers. Oh, or did they tie it? Oh, my TV's being super choppy. Come on. Getting RJ Harvey involved in the bubble screen there. Good to see RJ Harvey get involved. You know, this week the radio station, I think it was Sanford and Raj, they went down and they looked at basically every offensive rookie playmaker, so running backs, wide receivers, and looked at the production because we haven't had a ton of production from RJ Harvey, and they just compared it to the other first round rookies. And it's pretty amazing, man. If you look at it league wide, basically every rookie has had a really, really slow start. Whose fault was that, Bo or Kroll? I might have missed that play. My TV froze for a minute, so I might have missed whatever play you're asking about. As you can see, if you guys want to get interactive with me, send in your comments, whether you're watching on X, whether you're watching on YouTube. It'll pop up live on screen, and we can have an interactive show. Oh, God, my TV's just way delayed. Now I see it. I'd probably put that on Bo. Yeah, that's a zone coverage. Lucas Kroll sat down in the soft spot, and I don't know if Bo thought that he was going to keep moving or whatnot, but definitely a bad throw. What was the quote from Singleton? I guess I did not. I do usually take a quick second during the commercials, just take a deep breath, relax a little bit. But anytime we get to commercial, it's usually a good time for you to send in your comments. What's up, Dennis? Thanks for joining. Singleton on if it's a must-win game, but is it a must-win game? Or are we going to die in this locker room if we lose? I mean, I understand what he's saying. I think we in the media, fans, we like to make it games must-win games all the time, but you know, every game freaking matters. I do think it's if you want to win the AFC, I'll put it this way. If you want to win the AFC West, I think this is a must-win game. You cannot let the Chargers get out to a 3-0 lead. If you want the Christmas game against the Chiefs to matter, then it's a must-win game. Is it a must-win game to make the playoffs? Probably not, but it sure makes life easier when you don't fall behind in the AFC West. Billy Van Heusen. That's a flashback. All right, 3rd and 3. Let's see if the Broncos get off the field here. Probably not. 3rd and 3 feels like a gimme for Herbert. And we do. Okay. Good job staying true to the rush lanes there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate you, Dennis. DJ Jones, good football player, man. Doesn't get a lot of love because he plays the nose tackle position. But he's dang good at what he does. Tough to notice your nose tackle all too often, though. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Self-inflicted wounds, man. You can't have it. You can live with getting beat, but it's the self-inflicted stuff that absolutely shoots you in the foot. Will Sean be on the hot seat? Nah, he won't be on the hot seat. He's probably got at least one more year. Man, I thought our defense was supposed to be elite. They've not looked elite. Omarion Hampton's an interesting name to keep an eye on. Broncos passed on Omarion Hampton to select Jahdae Barron. I like Omarion Hampton a lot. Broncos apparently were never high on him, though. Good pressure from Jonah Ellis on that last play. Jonah Ellis did a nice job beating the left tackle, or the right tackle. Another freaking flag? Okay, this one's going against the offense. Okay, 2nd and 14. Can we not mess this up? Well, you know what's interesting about the special teams comment there? Keep in mind, Sean Payton, we lost 2 special teams coaches last year, and Sean Payton brings in his own guy, Darren Rizzi, who is supposed to be the special teams guru, and the early returns have not been awesome on special teams. Love me some Talanoa Hufanga, though. He's been phenomenal. Obviously, we haven't got a return from Drake Reedlaw. We've got no return from Evan Ingram yet, but Talanoa Hufanga has been everything that he's been billed to be. Goodness. How many freaking flags are we going to have in this game? All right, at least they picked it up. Broncos have barely played their first round pick, Jahdae Barron. He's been more or less a milk carton boy, missing in action. Do pro football players get disciplined in practice for exuberant amount of flags in a game? How does that play out? Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, discipline, lose your job. What the hell's the difference? First off, I mean, you do get disciplined in practice. I mean, when you get penalties, some coaches make you run, some coaches pull you out of the drill. But if you become egregious with it, well, you're just going to lose your job. The problem with Mims, though, Mark, and I don't disagree, but the only way to get Mims the ball is when you scheme it up. I mean, when was the last time? I know Mims caught a touchdown last week, which was nice, but when was the last time you saw Marvin Mims have a complete game as a wide receiver, just getting open in the route tree, being a part of the natural progression? He's got to progress as a natural receiver. You can't scheme it up every single time you give Marvin Mims the ball. All right, boys, let's do something on offense now. Kind of interesting. Harvey seems to be the featured back today instead of J.K. Dobbins. We got to start pushing the ball down the field, though. I'll tell you that much. I mean, Bo Nix is like last in the NFL in air yards per attempt. Every pass that he throws seems to be about 5 yards or less. Bo doesn't like what he sees. We got 1st and 20. Going to call timeout here, think it over. With as many flags, is that a sign that our talent isn't up to par? So they have to grab. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but no, I don't think it's a sign of a lack of talent. Maybe a lack of discipline. All right, pick up 6, 7 yards. You don't have to pick it all up at once. God, our running game sucks. Our running game just sucks ass. You didn't like the timeout usage for the loss of 1 run? Bo Nix running around like a chicken with his head cut off now. Did he get outside the pocket there? I guess he did. Third and 20. Probably do something pretty safe here. You got halfback draws, you got halfback screens, you got bubble screens. Not much in the playbook. And they go with the halfback screen. You know what, Patriot? I actually disagree with you. I think the hype was coming from the national media. I I think here locally we were much more honest about. At least I know me on my show. I think we were much more honest about where this team was at. I was uncomfortable with the amount of national hype that the Broncos were getting. They became like the trendy pick for whatever reason in the offseason. A lot of people even had the Broncos as dark horse Super Bowl contenders. You know what? I ain't even going to call him Crawshank, Dennis. I know we coined him Crawshank during the preseason, but Jeremy Crawshaw's he's actually been fantastic for the Broncos. He's been your best. He's been your best draft pick. Quite frankly, your punter has been the best draft pick on this team so far. No, Sean Payton didn't do anything to quell the hype. Sean Payton was the hype. Sean Payton couldn't help but just run his mouth the entire offseason. He anointed Bo Nix as a top 4 or 5 QB. He said he's only had 6 teams previously that he thought was capable of winning a Super Bowl. He said this team is his 7th team. Sean Payton was the hype. Probably not ideal if our punter is the best player. So the free agency class. I don't know if they got cute in the free agency class, but they definitely gambled. They definitely rolled the dice. I coined this free agency class as either the biggest boom or bust class in the history of the Broncos because the guys you got are ballers. Drake Greenlaw is a baller. Evan Ingram has been a baller. Talanoa Hufanga, freaking baller. J.K. Dobbins, baller. All these guys are really good, but every single one of them, from Talanoa to Drake Greenlaw, Evan Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, all 4 of those guys have very significant injury issues over their career. So if those guys could stay healthy, well, it might have been one of the biggest boom classes. But if they don't stay healthy, you're going to roll your eyes and be like, well, you knew what you were signing up for with all these injuries. And unfortunately, the early returns with Drake Greenlaw and Evan Ingram, it's leaning closer towards the bust than the boom. But we got a long ways to go. Yeah, Drake Greenlaw's a dog, man. He's just flat out a dog. Broncos really need him. Oh, I don't know about going as far as saying he won't play it down. It's definitely disturbing, though. I mean, that injury happened a long time ago. That injury was like 2 months ago. He re aggravated that thing. All right, Nick Benito. Cooper got his guy. Nick Benito got his guy. They got a sandwich on Justin Herbert. Love it. Yeah, good luck blocking Nick Benito with the fullback. Matlock is a big old boy. That's about a 300-pound fullback. I see you, Coop. All right, the boys are seeing fire in their eyes right now. Those pass rushers, once they sniff weakness in those tackles, it might be game on. The right tackle for the Chargers is a bit of a weak link for him. That was the tight end that was primarily making the block there, but Pipkins is a swing tackle that got thrust into the starting lineup because Rashawn Slater got hurt during training camp. So definitely keep your eye on that right tackle and Jonathan Cooper the whole game. Good return from Marv Mims. We'll take that. All right, good field position offense. Do something with it. BRB. Damn, I stepped away for 30 seconds, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 13. What the hell happened? Nothing good, I guess. Bo's got to get that ball out just a second earlier. I think if Bo gets that ball out just 1 second earlier, you've got a completion. He had to step up. Wasn't easy. God dang. Can we do something on offense? Anything? Like, just give me like 5 yards. I'll take 5 yards. Defense is going to have to play their ass off today, clearly. How about the new Ralphie? You guys see the new Ralphie run last night? New Ralphie was rolling. Yeah, wasted good field position, man. That's a good way to lose games. Turnovers and wasted field position. Those are two of the easiest ways to lose a football game. We have not had a game yet in which the Broncos offense and the Broncos defense have played well in the same game. Small ass bison. That's a baby bison. Shut your mouth, J Ram. That's a baby bison. That bison hasn't even grown up yet. That bison's about to double in size. You watch your mouth. God, why do Broncos games just put me to sleep now? All I want to do is take a nap when I watch the Broncos these days. At least our punter's getting a shout out on national TV, huh? All right, they got a fullback on the field, heavy personnel for the Chargers. See, that's what the Broncos need to be able to do. We need to be able to put a fullback on the field, heavy personnel. There's nothing that the defense can do to get you out of the run. You know it's a run, they know it's a run, and just pick up 5 yards. But no, our running game doesn't work like that. I'm afraid our guy Bo Nix has regressed. Well, that was stupid. How did we not get a penalty on that? That was a freaking miracle. That sure as hell looked like a late hit to me. Yeah, he's a yard and a half out of bounds, and we gave him a little shoulder shot. That should have been 15 yards on Alex Singleton. It wasn't egregious, but all right, I got my double diet Dr. Pepper. I'm ready to rock and roll. Maybe 23 flavors can wake me up. Hey, good first quarter, boys. Good news is you're only down by 3. Should we anoint an offensive player of the game so far? I already did my laundry. I did it yesterday. I wish I had something to do. Is Bo in the middle of a sophomore year slump? Well, if you go back to the last 6 games of last season, up till this point, Bo Nix leads the NFL in turnovers. So turnovers is the one thing that he did a good job of for the most part last season, but it kind of fell up. It kind of fell apart at the end of the season. And in training camp, he was real sloppy with the ball. So that's one thing that he's got to get fixed. Yeah, I like everybody assumes. So when you talk about like progression, right? Everybody assumes it's going to be a linear progression that goes straight up. Well, it doesn't work like that, right? Like it's just like a stock market. Like you're going to go up, you're going to go down, you're going to go up, you're going to go down. So it doesn't shock me that Bo Nix is not lighting the world on fire to start year 2, and I don't think it's necessarily anything that you need to panic about. But we do need to see a bounce back, right? We don't want to see the stock drop all the way back down to 0. First of December. All right, come on. Hey, if you had guns, you'd show them off too, big boy. It really does feel like if we fall behind by 2 scores, that almost does feel insurmountable. It's so early on. I'm not panicked, but we've literally got nothing going on offense. I mean, the run game's been so bad, I'd probably abandon the run more or less myself. God dang, Herbert's good, man. That's a tough throw on the run. They're dicing us up now. I guess my biggest surprise defensively has been our secondary. You know, pass rush has been pretty good. Well, not pretty good. Pass rush has been fantastic. Nick Benito's leading the NFL in pressures. But the surprise to me has been the way the team's been able to march up and down the field on our secondary. We got so much talent in that room. All right, 39. Bend but don't break. There we go. There we go. Okay. Tips and overthrows. Got to get those interceptions, Brandon Jones. That helps. Yes, that was a much needed interception indeed. Well, West wants a shot to Franklin over the top. A lot of times, sudden change, you do take a shot down the field, but we're pretty backed up. So usually when you take a shot, it's with sudden change that ends up on the other half, on the opponent's half of the field. You'll probably play it relatively safe. Yeah, Chargers crowd always sucks. And Broncos fans show up historically well for Chargers games. Don't get me wrong, I'm down with taking a shot down the field. We need to get some chunk plays. Clearly, it doesn't feel like we're going to dink and dunk our way down the field. Credit the defensive line for causing that interception there. And Riley Moss, obviously, a great job with the deflection, even though he was beat by a step. Well, we got heavy personnel on the field that's screaming run or play action. It could be one of the two. And they're going to take a shot. Okay. That's about as much of a shot as we've seen in a long time. I'll take it. That's pretty good pocket presence from Bo there. You know, Bo's got good feet, and I want him to use it. I don't want him running 10 or 12 times per game, but if he runs 5 or 6 times per game, I'll take that. Mike McGlinchey got beat there, gave up the inside. I'm telling you, if we don't figure out how to run the ball, life is going to be difficult for this Broncos offense. Really difficult. All right. Good to see Cortland Sutton come to life here. Only gets one catch last week. Number 1 wide receiver. We need to get more balls to Cortland. Shoot. Hey guys, I gotta help my kids out with some stuff, so I'm gonna jump off here. But I appreciate you guys joining me for a watch party. Stay tuned for the All 22 that will come out with the next 24 to 48 hours. If you want to catch that, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. Hit that link in my bio on X. Go on over. It'll take you 3 seconds to hit a link and get subscribed. I'll have the All 22 coach and film out. Let's hope this offense can come to life and Broncos walk away with an AFC West victory on the road.